Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22, featuring the LA Dodgers. I keep wanting to say Brooklyn Dodgers, and that is not accurate. We're the Dodgers of Los Angeles. Last season was a tiny bit of disappointment. Finished season at 81 and 73. But I'd take some heart in that because the question was, how good could the Dodgers be without Mickey Mantle? And it turns out they were still pretty good. We only finished 5 games out of getting a pennant. And that's pretty awesome. So a couple things I wanted to address before we get too deep into the game. First of all, somebody said that catcher defense is very important. I agree to that. But it's important to consider that if he's not hitting and someone else can offer roughly the same level of defense, and Hal Smith is no scrub, I kind of think we have to move on. I'm not saying I'm going to trade Sherm Lawler yet, but he's already 35, and I mean, the sheer fact he's even worth almost a win and a half speaks volumes to his raw defensive capabilities. Because you have to be a pretty damn good defender in order to generate that much value when you're not hitting, like, at all. But on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe I'm being hard on the guy, but we have to keep getting better, and I think Hal Smith is just the better catcher right now. I'm not saying we'll get rid of Sherm Lawler just yet, but that's where I'm going with that. The second thing people pointed out was maybe we should move Jackie Brandt over to right field, and he is a much better right fielder. That is an undeniable fact. But we just discovered Felipe Alou, who had a really good season. And I'm certainly not going to bump Mickey Mantle. That ain't happening. So the question is, do I take... God, he's such a bad center fielder, though. That is a really hard question because... First of all, I don't have a center fielder I trust over Jackie Brandt. I just don't. I have basically, for 2 spots, I have 3 players. I have Felipe Alou, Jackie Brandt, and Minnie Minoso all ready for the 2 spots of first base and right field. Now, Minnie just won a batting title and led the league in WAR. I don't think he'll do that again, but it's too early to move on from him. And yes, Jackie Brandt is a terrible center fielder, but it's also worth noting that this was his worst year by a fair bit. And I'm wondering if maybe he just had a little bit of bad luck. Man. This is both a good problem to have and a horrible problem to have. Because the logical choice in moving on from Minnie Minoso, right? He's the oldest of the 3 players in question. Felipe Alou wouldn't be a very good first baseman, but he wouldn't be the worst in history either. Jackie Brandt moves over the right field. Man, I don't know. I have some strong feelings, but I'm not sure what direction they're pointing me in. Hell, I mean, I guess I could put Minnie Minoso at third. I mean, it wouldn't be all that much worse than Don Hoke, and Don Hoke was pretty disappointing this year. Maybe that's our path forward. Like, we're past the period in history where being an amazing third baseman is gonna really change things. But then I basically have horrible defense at two positions between Minoso and Alou in the corners. Yeah. Boy, that's rough. Well, let's first of all go ahead and start investigating who might be available in the draft. And we're going to be picking 11th overall, which is obviously, again, not a great pick, but it's all about who's around. I could get all the Alou brothers, just lock them all down, have 100% of the league's Alou quotient. My friends, this is kind of a shitty draft. With two Hall of Famers, Juan Marichal and Ron Santo. And a whole lot of players that just seem very meh. Well, anyway, let's see how the award season goes. Yes, Mike Garcia can come back. We love Mike Garcia. Welcome back. A Rookie of the Year for Felipe Alou. Very close, though. John Boujart was quite close, but... Silver Slugger, Jackie Brandt in center, Tony Kuback at shortstop, and Minnie Minoso at first base. Minnie Minoso got MVP again. Or not again, I'm saying another MM won MVP. So that's really cool. Good job, my dude. Not unanimous, but hey. Look, when we look at award history and look at AL award winners and we look at MVPs, and we look at the right league, I'm not very smart. Look at this shit. 6 consecutive MVP awards, and the 1 year Mickey Mantle gets hurt, Minnie Minoso wins the MVP award. Man, that's gotta drive you crazy, doesn't it? That's gotta be like, come on, really? I need to find the next player whose initials are MM and sign them. And it'll be great. What is this last word? Oh, this is reliever of the year. Okay. Meh. Anyway. Let us take a look, my friends, and let's see who might be worthy of a Hall of Fame spot. I'm seeing a whole lot of no's so far. I still believe in Carl Fisher. Jimmy Fox almost got 5,000 major league hits. What? That's insane. Like, there's a very fair argument that he is the greatest player that will ever play Major League Baseball. I mean, holy shit. Damn, Philly. Let's go for Hank Greenberg again. And Ernie Lombardi. That seems very reasonable. Red Wolf and Schoolboy Rowe, both excellent players. I'll be honest, we could easily see 6 Hall of Famers out of this class. I think all 6 players that I have selected have a really fair shot at becoming Hall of Famers. And then we have Johnny Vandermeek. Or Vandermeer, rather, excuse me. Like, this could be the biggest Hall of Fame class we've ever seen. That would be pretty cool if that were true. What an absolute unit was Jimmy Fox. Damn. Like, the real-life Jimmy Fox is, no doubt, an amazing baseball player. But this Jimmy Fox is just the best. Oh yeah, Joe Torre, I forgot about him. That's probably because he's not all that great. Oh, I guess he is actually pretty good. Huh, who knew? Maybe it's just that my scouting director doesn't believe in him, which is fair. I trust him more than I trust OSA, that's for sure. Start that draft. Wow, I didn't even see Joe Torre's name on this. Oh no, there he is. He's actually rated as the best player in the draft. Who do they think will fall to me? They think Dick Mcauliffe will fall to me. They're probably right that he might be available. The question is whether I want to take him. I am very tempted with yet another Alou on my team. But it's not like Matty is anything special in the outfield either. It is one step closer to an all Alou outfield, but I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing. Let's look at Dick Mcauliffe. Dick Mcauliffe is fine. That is the beginning and end of my praise for Dick Mcauliffe. He's an okay second baseman with okay contact and a little above average plate discipline. On the other hand, I could take Bill Stafford. Getting yet one more outstanding starting pitcher. Like, I'm not going to take Matty Alou. That's not happening. I'm not going to hit Dick Mcauliffe either. Is Leo Cardenas anything special? He's decent, but I'm not really that excited about him. Yeah, Bill Stafford just seems like the best choice. He's the best overall player left that's available to me. He's an amazing pitcher with really good stats. He is a sidearmer. So this is not a risk-free pick, but this strengthens what was formerly a weakness of us, which was a starting rotation. I'm going to go ahead and take Bill Stafford. And I'm going to take Art Mahaffey just so that I have a little bit of insurance in the minors. Oh no, pinche is the word I was thinking of, not piche. Very different word. Very different. Ooh, Doug Camilli. Wow, you're terrible. I guess I should look for super secret offensive stars, huh? There sure aren't any, though. Yikes. I've never really seen value in nickeling and diming draftees. Like even in a modern roster, signing bonuses for most players are like a tiny fraction of your budget, and I just don't see the point in trying to earn a few extra bucks. Um, it just doesn't make sense to me, unless your budget is really really bad, and if that's the case, you have far bigger problems than who you've drafted. Okay. So if this team had a flaw, what would that flaw be? Second base or third base? Don Hoke in particular, we have to move on from. That is a no doubt about it. Yes, it's going to happen. We're moving on from Don Hoke. The question is who we get that's better at third base. And that is not an easy answer to provide. I also wouldn't mind a better second baseman, but I think that's going to be even harder to manage than getting a better third baseman. So one possibility is, as I said earlier, move Minoso to third, move Alu to first, and move Jackie Brandt to right and find a new center fielder. That all sounds great, except I don't have a new center fielder. So I guess the number one question I need to ask myself as we get... We'll check the Rule 5 draft first, of course. Without hesitation, and see what we might be able to accomplish there. There ain't nobody worth taking. Not even a little bit. So, let's check the trading block. Bobby Thompson would be a pretty solid center fielder for a lot of reasons. He'd certainly be better than Jackie Brandt. That's true. But I don't think he's a great fit. I want somebody ideally a bit younger. Because let's face it, my friends, we still have a few years left with the Dodgers. We're only halfway through. So, unless I was positive that Bobby Thompson would bring us a world championship, I don't think I can make that trade. Hector Lopez is a phenomenal outfielder, but he's not the position I want. Same for Eddie Just. Yeah, there just isn't any impressive looking player here. Jim Finnegan certainly has the defense, but he's not much in the way of offense. And I both can and should afford to be picky. So, if I want a third base cornerstone, I'm probably going to have to give up a fair bit for it. Let's try to find the very best third baseman in the majors. Give me, not player ratings, positional rankings. That's the one I meant. No, wait, that isn't it. There's one that has the best players at every single position. That's the one I'm looking for. This positional rankings. There we go. Okay. Who has the best third baseman in the major leagues? If we're going to go big, let's go super big. Al Smith. Bob Elliott of the New York Yankees is the finest third baseman that the majors can offer. I mean, he's better than Don Hoak, but I'm not convinced that he's what we're looking for. I'm being greedy here. I understand that. I'm deliberately being very greedy, but it's important that I have Brooks Robinson, for instance. I think he'd make a fine addition to our collection. What would it take to get me Brooks Robinson? I wonder. One single player doesn't get it done. Fine. I understand that. I accept it. What if I offered you Don Hoak? Not even a slight budge. What if I offered you Sherm Lawler? Yeah, the Senators have very correctly identified that a third baseman of Brooks Robinson's caliber is not something to be given away lightly, and I'm not giving away Mickey Mantle. That's no. That is the hardest no that ever knowed in the history of no. So I can't have Brooks Robinson. I don't want Bob Elliott. Dick Gray? Nope. I keep thinking, man, what awesome team has a shortstop and left fielder that's number one? I was like, oh yeah. It's me. Al Smith. Not a very good third baseman, I'm afraid. Nope. Frankie Calzone here at least has the glove. I just wouldn't give up anything of value for him. Buddy Lewis is a decent all-around third baseman, but he's also 43 fucking years old. I might as well keep Don Hoak at that point. Eddie Yost. No, I don't think so. I don't think he would be a good fit, not at third base for us. Bubba Phillips is awful. George Kell is even awfuler. As is Lou Schizas. So really this is just a problem where just nobody has a good third baseman. I guess things feel a little bit better. Could we upgrade it second? That might be an even harder ask. Mel Roach is the best second baseman in Major League Baseball. I don't know that I buy that. I think your rankings are somewhat dubious. Bobby Morgan is pretty decent again. Meh. Vic Powers got a great bat. I just don't think I trust him to play second base very much. Gil McDougald is very underwhelming. Jose Valdevielso, I would definitely like to grab if we can. I think he's the first player here that I look at and I say, yes, I'd like him on my team. Okay, this I can work with. It's not, I demand the greatest players in Major League Baseball history. What if I offered you Bride Wazer and him? Okay. Alright. I'm trying to decide if I'd rather trade Willard Nixon or if I'd rather trade Ray Crone. And I think I'm going to trade Ray Crone. Like, I know he's an outstanding relief pitcher. I don't doubt that. But someone's going to be dumb enough to try to use him as a starter. And it's going to bite them in the ass. Yeah, I will give you Ray Crone. Do you have an intriguing third baseman, I wonder? Can we make this a mega deal? I mean, I wouldn't say no to Maury Wills. I just have a feeling you won't give him to me. Okay, what? Okay, so let's run this back. First of all, we bring in the quintessential LA Dodger, Maury Wills, to play third base. We acquire a brand new second baseman who's much better than the old one in Valdevielso. And all it's costing me is 3 scrubs. Thus leaving me Don Hoke to do anything I want to with. If I drop Ray Crone and add in Don Hoke, where does that get us? Okay, I might as well just give you Crone. Yeah, it's like... Can I get anything else from you? Can I get Ted Williams? I'm kidding. I would never know where to play him. But maybe I could. Wouldn't that be bonkers? But how did Milwaukee get Don Newcomb? Oh, the Senators stupidly traded him away. They'll regret that. I'm just gonna make this deal. We get better at 2 positions. And wow, I have no idea how much they loved him. Yeah, we upgrade significantly at 2 different positions, and we get a different kind of player on the roster in Maury Wills that we don't have right now. A high contact, big time base stealer. But we don't have one of those right now. If I shop Don Hoke, what kind of offers might I acquire? I wonder. Then again, is it really a terrible idea having an outstanding pinch hitter on your roster? Which he would be that, if nothing else. Or do I just trade him to get rid of him? I could go either way. What kind of deals can I make? I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of relievers and a couple pretty good starters. So I kind of like the idea of grabbing ourselves Joe Pinantono because I do want another catcher in the system in case something happens to the first 2 guys. Can I get Moran and Pinantono? I wonder. I wonder. I will happily take this deal. It gives us a bit more depth, and I'd feel a little bit better about our chances going forward. So let's see how you respond to that offer. And you'll take it, so I will also take it. Fans, we're getting younger, and we're getting more athletic, and we're getting better. Don't weep tears. Instead, embrace the new vision of the Brooklyn Dodgers. So the real question now becomes, whose spot in the rotation is going away? And that is a very important question that we will deal with, I promise you that much. Coot is a fine shortstop and an okay third baseman. Maybe not a great second baseman. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. But this is going to be a gigantic Hall of Fame class. I feel pretty strongly about that. Yeah, it easily could have been 7 people, and I know that it wasn't. Really, I don't know how you don't vote Jimmy Fox in unanimously. You're just being a vindictive jerk at that point. But, hey, 5 people is a pretty great class, including 4 first-timers. And Lombardi, Fisher, and Stratton all seem like they've got really good chances to break through there. If you guys really want Claude Osteen, and you're willing to give me a fairly decent backup? Oh, I don't want to give you Seth Moorhead, though, is the problem. I don't want to lose even more of my relieving. You have cut my budget, Kurt Blakeway. I'll try not to be too grumpy about that. Jack Fisher is losing velocity. That is disconcerting. That is very disconcerting. What the heck happened to you? Yeah, your stamina just disappeared. What the... That's random and not in the good way either. Like, maybe Jack Fisher becomes a reliever. Game. Would you stop? Stop taking outstanding starters and deciding to make them into relievers at this point in history. It's just not appropriate. I thought his name was Bob Giggle. That's less exciting. Teehee, Bob Giggle. I will offer both of you fine gentlemen a shot in spring training just because we're kind of lacking in the middle infield. And I'd ideally like to have at least one more player there. I don't know who yet, but I'd like to have at least one more. So I'm going to let you do your thing. Man, doesn't it just feel right having Maury Wills in an LA Dodgers uniform? It really does to me. It really does. Like, he's not a fantastic, super brilliant, amazing player, but what he offers is pretty good. I've never heard of you, though. It looks like you had a very short career for the Washington Senators. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's why I never heard of the guy. I'm pretty happy with him, though. He seems like he'd be a swell addition to our team. So that's that. If you want to let Sherm start in spring training, I'm not going to judge you. We can see what he can manage. Let us determine friends, colleagues, and mortal nemesis. What's going to happen here? No. Don't injure my damn players, game. I'm weirdly jazzed. He never even played for me, but the fact that any major leaguer got 5,000 hits tickles me pink, but the fact that it was Jimmy Fox is just icing on the cake. Baseball cake. Gene Conley, you gone. I don't know how you keep making your way back onto the roster, but you're gone. He's like, oh, gee, give me a chance. No, I give you no chance. Jack Fisher, I'm going to send you to the minors. I'm really alarmed by your loss of velocity, and I'm hoping that maybe pitching every day in the major minors will help you regain your form. Plus, you can learn from Bob Giggle. And who doesn't want to learn from him? Billy Pierce, I tried really hard, and I just have to cut my losses at this point. If somebody else wants to claim you, they can. If nobody else claims you, then I'll just cut you. Tomanek to the minors. What does that leave me at? 13 pitchers. Still got to get rid of 2 more, eh? Don Basent to the minors. And I think Pichet to the minors as well. There we go. That's a mighty fine bullpen. Bill Stafford makes the opening day roster, which I kind of suspected he might. As does... Wait, aren't you supposed to be a starting pitcher? You are meant to be a starter. Then get the hell off my roster and start. What? What would possess you to think that I would want you to just become a reliever? I'll take Ron Pichet. I cannot not see Pinche, which means something very, very different in Spanish than whatever Pinche might mean. Goodbye, Ray Yablonsky. Billy Moran's already a better second baseman backup than Harry Hannebrink. No, he does not have a major league contract. Quit being weird, game. I sure as shit never gave him one. Game. Quit being weird. Jim Small literally offers nothing of any value to anybody, so we can go ahead and waive him as well. Billy Moran makes the roster. I'm certainly not opposed to that. And now, my friends, let us first build our Staffo D-pitching. That's Spanish, I promise. It's not. Don't listen to me. So Willard Nixon, then Don Cardwell, then Bill Stafford, then Hal Brown, and lastly, the Big Bear, Mike Garcia. Fred Green, you can be the closer again. You didn't do a brilliant job last year, but you did alright. Oh, sorry. You can be stopper. I would say 8th or later in lead. I don't want him coming in quite that early. And everyone else is doing middle relief, except, of course, for Ned Garver. He's going to be our Sunday starter, our emergency starting pitcher, and long reliever. Line oops. So, who's the best hitter? It's Mickey Mantle. Every year, there's like one split second where I'm like, maybe it's someone else. It's never someone else. It's always Mickey Mantle. Minnie Minoso has more than earned my respect as our leadoff guy. And then big old Maury Wills is gonna bat second. Felipe Alou is going to hit cleanup again. Jackie Brandt will hit 5th. I'll give Lawler a chance. He does have a much better track record of providing offensive performances. I at least want to give him a shot before I bury him for good. So, y'all have won your battles. I will actually bat Tony Kuback 6th, though. And then Mr. Valdevielso. Valdevielso. There you go. Backup will be Hal Smith. I definitely want Hal Smith starting at least once a week. Backing up at first will be Jim Marshall. And I wouldn't mind Jim Marshall starting once a week. Give him some reps every now and again. Keeping Minnie Minoso fresh. Billy Moran is, I think, my best option at second base. And Jim Marshall will be the #1 pinch hitter, but Billy Moran has really good contact in his bat. There's hits in that bat. Maybe big hits. Maybe small hits, but there are hits in his bat. And then last but certainly not least, good old Gil Cone will be our backup. The Coot will be backing up at both positions. Gil Cone will back up in the corners. And last but certainly not least, Dan Dobek will back up in center. As far as backup pinch runners go, Gil Cone, I guess, is okay. Someone's got to do it. And we're just going to paste that bad boy right over. I'm a little intrigued to see if he can get on base at a good enough clip if they start walking Mickey Mantle to get to Felipe Alou. Then again, if Minoso's getting on first, and so is Maury Wills, they can't really walk the bases loaded just to face Felipe Alou. So, I think that is more than sufficient to get us to opening day. The Tigers are fucking welcome to him. He also was a Detroit Tiger in real life, so that's kind of neat. Player development. Not much. All right, comrades. Really, game? Really? You're going to kick me off with a 3-week sprained ankle from someone who's actually quite important to the offense. Why do you hate me, game? What have I done to incur your hatred, I wonder? Lay sigh. You know, I can call up Lou Jackson just to have a backup center fielder, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it at all. And I sure shit am not leaving Kuback in as our number 5 hitter. I will happily trust Lawler to do that job. And Kuback hits 6th. And yeah, Kuback definitely hits last. If you're trapping me with this jerk weasel, you're giving me recompense in the form of making sure the rest of the lineup isn't that bad off. Okay, all you jerk wagons cleared waivers, and you all got demoted, as you should. Well, that is unfortunate, and that's going to cause a kind of a chain reaction. Jack Fisher, welcome back to the major leagues. Ned Garver, welcome back to the starting rotation. I didn't really want to pitch you, so I won't. I'll start Jack Fisher instead, because I trust Jack Fisher more than I trust Ned Garver at this point. Even if he is Fat Jack, yeah, I just don't trust anyone else. Okay, great. We get Jackie Brandt back. I'm excited about that. And goodbye, Lou Jackson. You may never see the major leagues again, but that's all right. Jackie Brandt, up, up, up. Don't freaking remind me. Okay. What are we looking at here? Really, only Maury Wills is problematic. Minoso's still getting on base at a near 400 clip. I will happily take that. Wills is kind of disappointing. Wills is kind of disappointing. Yeah, there's this weird lack of doubles on the team. I don't really get it, and I'm sure it's going to get fixed. So I'm not going to overreact to anybody right now. Except maybe Fred Green. Yeah, dude, you have 8 appearances, and you just walk everybody. Try not to do that. Thanks. Okay, thanks, why? Oh, let's sim ahead another month. Guys, stop injuring my starting pitchers. That's extremely unnice of you. It lacks sufficient niceness. Because then Art Mahaffey gets to be a starting pitcher, and nobody wants that. I mean, Art Mahaffey probably does, but I don't want it. But I certainly trust him a lot more than Ned Garver or Claude Austin. Are you fucking kidding me, game? Knock it off. Seriously. What is possessing you to kill all of my starting pitchers all of a sudden? Hey, guess what, Claude Austin? Welcome back to the Dodgers as a pitcher. I hate you. I don't hate you. I hate the fact that I have to use you when I really don't want to. But I mean, you're still better than Ned Garver, so... Damn. Yeah, Jim Marshall's getting worse. Alright. I will be right back, my friends. Alright, my friends. Apologies for the brief pause. We need to... Okay, so first of all... Yeah, things are going wrong offensively. Which is obviously not good. I think that is a fair statement, that it is not a good thing that all of a sudden people have forgotten how to hit. Now, I know the game occasionally is hard-coded to make certain years better for hitting and other years better for pitching, but it's a little ridiculous to have... I mean, Mickey Mantle has 4 doubles. That's weird. That is not... And I mean, I guess, you know, historically, he's mostly gotten his power through home runs. But still, 4 doubles in 50 games is pretty crazy, right? Felipe Alou is doing better with doubles, but is only hitting at 6 home runs. Something has happened to make all of our power hitters stop hitting for power. If it weren't for Jackie Brandt and Minnie Minoso, and in particular, Sherm Lawler has had a nice little bounce back season, so something is going right. Yeah. Tony Kuback isn't hitting. Like, a lot of things are all going wrong all at the same time. And I don't know how to fix any of it. And because I don't know how to fix any of it, we have to ask ourselves the important question, are we going to make the playoffs this year? And the answer is quite simply no. Barring some sort of drastic turnaround in our offense, which, let's be realistic, could happen any day now. But barring some sort of giant turnaround offensively, we're probably out of the playoffs this season. I don't know. We're only, about a third of the way into the season. I should be a little more optimistic. I have very little reason to be optimistic with most of my starting rotation injured. Even if most replacements are doing at least semi-okay. I mean, Claude Austin is a bit of a train wreck, but we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I am deeply concerned about our future as a baseball team, and the only thing we can do is just keep soldiering on and see where that gets us. Okay, we can get Bill Stafford back. That is very good news. So Claude Austin goes right back to the minors. And Bill Stafford comes right back to the starting rotation without missing a beat, hopefully. Oh. See, I don't even know one named Miller, and it's like, oh, it's a minor league thing. Gil, shut the fuck up. I have no time for your crying. I have no time for your belly aching about how you're not starting on a team where, yeah. Have I been doing a great job? I certainly don't feel like it. Okay. So first of all, let's lock up all the minor league coaches. I don't really want to mess with that. One person wants you to talk to them. Fine. Now let's talk to John Kavanaugh. I think he's been a fairly solid first base coach. I don't really see any big need to let him walk. It's like he's holding people back. So that'll work. Let us go ahead then and continue onward in a baseball fashion. Don Cardwell makes his first All-Star team. Is it his first? I feel like he's made another All-Star team. It's his second. Okay. Mickey Mantle made the All-Star team. Jackie Brandt made the All-Star team. And Jose Valdevielso made the All-Star team, as did Tony Kuback somehow. We got plenty of All-Stars, which is, I guess, good news, but at the same time, it's not really good enough news. Cool. Well, Fred Green is definitely bouncing back a bit after a disappointing beginning to his season as a relief pitcher. Let us keep going for now. I can check the trade block, but I really don't see who we could upgrade to make a significant impact on this offense. More than just trusting our regulars to get their shit together. Which I think is maybe the clear path to an offensive improvement. Is just letting my regulars play and get their shit done. I think that's going to be a big piece of it. We didn't check the trade block, though. I'm pretty quickly souring on Maury Wills, who may steal bases, but doesn't get on base. Which is, he's a contact first hitter that isn't hitting for contact. And that's not ideal, to put it mildly. I really need hitters. Yeah, there's not really anything here that's really worth investing in. We'll just keep going. If we make the playoffs, make the playoffs. If we don't make them, we don't make them. I'm not that fussed one way or the other. And I think our best path is just counting on our regulars to get their shit together. Is going to end up a better system than just hoping for the best. Go right back to AAA. Oh, right, you were on... So I do have to put you on the 40-man before I can put you on the... and back into AAA. Alright, my friends. We are currently sitting at a half game out of first. I'm going to try one move right now that will either have a big impact or a very small impact. And we'll see which is more likely to happen. Valdevielso, you're batting second. And I'm hoping this does two things. First of all, he's been an on-base machine. And second, it'll take some of the pressure off of Wills, and he might get a better chance to steal lower on in the order. So I'm going to make that change. And I don't know how much that changes things, but I have a feeling it'll be a beneficial change. I think it's going to make life a little bit easier for everybody. My second change is to let Mr. 18 Homers bat cleanup. And have Felipe Alou bat fourth. Or fifth, rather. Let me be very clear. I am not unhappy with Felipe Alou's performance. It's just I'm asking for a power hitter. I'm not getting one. So cool, I need to find the power hitter that's already on the team. Shermanator, my dude... You've had a very nice bounce-back season, and I'm sorry that I gave up on you so quickly. Please forgive me for my transgressions. Alright. I don't know if these moves are going to make a huge difference, but they certainly can't hurt. But I guess they could hurt. I shouldn't have said that. Hey, look who's getting better at playing third base, so that's fun. Is fun. We got 1 month left to do it. I don't care. I do care a little bit more out of this, but... Yeah, Mike Garcia just figure it out. Look who's getting a batting title, of course. It's Matty Alou. Of course it is. Rookie of the Month from Mr. Stafford. Minnie Minoso. Hitter of the Month. Excellent news. Oh, joy. That's all I wanted to hear. And no Hal Brown ever again. That is extremely unfortunate. I'm sure should not letting Ned Garber start. Although he has been somewhat competent this season, but I think Maharfi is the better choice. Mahaffey, whatever. Poor Hal Brown. I swear to fucking Christ, Gil, I will have my players beat you to death with a sack of quarters if you don't stop complaining. Oh dear. Okay. We need to win. I mean, then we can talk about other scenarios. If Pittsburgh wins, they're in. If Pittsburgh wins, they're in. I can't do anything to stop them. That's whatever. If Pittsburgh loses and we win, then there's a chance. So let's just take the chance and see what happens. And we lost because, of course, we did. Fuck. I mean, good for the Pirates. I'm happy for them. but I am sad that we did not win a pennant. Oh, really? You know, that team wasn't at its best. It really wasn't. So I'm not that unhappy. Ooh, my contract got extended. Very nice. And there goes Hal Brown retiring. Again, that's not a big surprise. So, how did the season go? First of all, we finished 84 and 70, which is better than last year. And we did it without many of our very best players playing at their very best. So I think everything else we talk about should be tempered with that. Our very best players were not at their very best, and we still came a couple games shy of a pennant. Let's talk about who did well and who did a little bit less well. Tony Kuback had an amazing season. He was the best player on our team, and if you would have told me when we acquired him, there will come a time when the very best player on your own team is Tony Kuback, I don't think I would have believed you. But he got a career high in home runs, still had plenty of doubles, and most importantly was a pretty good shortstop. The errors are obviously not great, but the rest of his game is so good, we'll deal with it. One of our new players worked brilliantly. Jose Valdevielso was everything we hoped for and more. He did lead the league in doubles, and it's maybe not fair to ask him to do that every season, especially when he's not a good power bat. But most importantly, he got on base at a really high clip. And he played a very strong second base. He wasn't necessarily flawless there. Again, lots of errors, but this is also an era where errors are not unusual. Mickey Mantle. I'm really hoping his injury didn't take something strong out of him, but his strikeouts are way up. Way up. I mean, this is a man who certainly was no stranger to strikeouts, but to go from 84 to 140 is pretty insane. I would think this is just Mickey Mantle on a bit of a down year, and that he'll easily rebound. And let's be frank, this is still a fantastic baseball season from a great player, but I also don't believe for a second that this is all there is. This is not the new normal. I refuse to accept that. I'm sure he'll be back to his old self next season. Minnie Minoso also took a step back, but at least in his case, he's on the wrong side of 30. No, I think the offense just was down in general for either just the league or maybe just for me. But look, if we consider that last year was the crazy good year, what we got out of Minnie Minoso this year was still pretty fantastic. Jackie Brandt did cool off toward the end of the season, was still very good. His defense is really becoming an issue, though. He's not making very many errors, but he's also not making the big plays either. And I'm not going to bend over backwards to give Felipe Alou an important role on the team if he's not going to earn it. His power vanished this season. It was utterly gone. And that cannot be allowed to continue. Now, you can be this and just give me quality at-bats off the bench and spell people and whatever, and that'll be fine. Maury Wills, he sure had a lot of at-bats, didn't he? Dude, you gotta get your shit together. This can't be all there is if you're wanting to be a big piece of this team. Defensively, not terrible, but the rest of your game, meh. Low-key, big problem with Jim Marshall. Jim Marshall really saved us last season, and this season he really kind of buried us. He went from being a productive player to just being utterly useless. Gil Cone, nobody's gonna want you. Guess what, asshole? You're cut. I can't deal with you anymore. I'm tired of you complaining all the damn time. I will trade you in a heartbeat if I can get a decent player for you. Hey, Ron Klein, you're not a real starter. Don't lie to me. Ted Kaczynski, your name is kind of sus, but you know what's really important? That you're not Gil Cohen. Fuck all the way off, Gil Cohen. I hope you are benched forever and never see a baseball stadium again. You absolute asshole. Okay, let's talk about the pitching staff. Losing Hal Brown does kind of hurt. He had played a pretty big role for our team for a few seasons. Don Cardwell really put together an outstanding season. Bill Stafford, in his rookie year, yes, he suffered an injury, but otherwise was exactly what we were hoping for. Jack Fisher is still not a fantastic pitcher, but he's good enough, I think, for now. We definitely need a new starter, though. It seems like I'm always saying that, but it's because it's always true. Art, I don't know what to make of you. Maybe you'll be alright next season, maybe you won't. I just don't have enough information to make a decision. Mike Garcia is definitely in the twilight of his career. He can still put in 150 plus innings, and they're going to be right around league average. And that's honestly not terrible. One of our best starters retired, which is Hal Brown, and another important starter got injured. Actually, all of our important starters got injured, which definitely doesn't help. But I thought there was one other pitcher I was thinking of. Yeah, Willard Nixon. We only had him for 3 starts, and that obviously doesn't make anything any easier for us. Is my scouting budget like $10? Is there a reason why I never have any data on any of my players? It's probably because I'm almost at the league baseline. Okay. We'll need to fix that next season. If we can. But, like, at the end of the day, there's very little to be upset about in this season other than just a couple of big-time players didn't make the big-time plays we expect from them. So what am I going to try to do next season? I need another starter again. It seems like I'm always saying I need a starter, but it's always true. I also need to move Alu to right field, or move Alu to the bench and move Jackie Brandt to right. I wasn't willing to do it last season, but I mean, every single win matters now. We're at a point where we're right on the cusp of winning a pennant. And quite literally, Jackie Brandt cost us a win and a half with his garbage center field play. It's not that he's got bad. It's not that he makes a bunch of mistakes. It's that he doesn't make the plays that a center fielder should make. If we break it down a little bit here, routine stuff, no problem. Likely, yeah, he'll do it. Even, Oh, and there goes his range. Right there. He is not making the big plays when they needed to be made. And And so having him in center field is actually holding us back a little bit. Moving him to right and finding a new center fielder could be a very beneficial addition to the club. But other than that, look, we've got really solid players at most of our spots. And it's not like Felipe Alou was a garbage player. It's just I need a consistent center fielder more than I need of a pretty good corner outfielder. And there's no contest between Jackie Brandt and Felipe Alou as far as who the better actual hitter is. It's Jackie Brandt by quite a lot. If they'd played the same number of games, I feel even more confident Jackie Brandt would have truly been sensational. So, Sherm Lawler, you came back and had a very nice season. I don't know that I expect this every year, but as long as you're producing league average offense, I have no reason to take you out of the lineup when you're an excellent catcher. So, my friends, comrades, pallies, pally-wallies, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you are enjoying the series thus far. And I hope to see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the OOTP content and the Draft Day Sports Pro Football, which has been going quite well. And, excuse me, that'll do it. So thank you very much for watching. And until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.